Will you show us a picture of Gorlock the Destroyer?
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Kiko. I'm 23. I go to UCSB and I also bartend.
Hiichang wangchi kohta ang nannitu chanki.
No,
I was
Gore.
you know,
I don't know anything about this. Is this
I like
a
to watch
Warhammer thing?
Yeah, I like to watch those silly podcasts where women say silly things. And this is Gorlock the Destroyer. They asked her to describe herself, I think, and she said she was a bad bitch. and she just kind of goes on about just really full of herself. I really hope you have a picture because you got to see it. It's not funny.
What podcast is it? Like what?
I don't know.
It's just women sitting around talking about Gorlock the Decimator.
It's the Destroyer.
The Destroyer. Decimator's better. Oh, there's too many people on a pod. Whoa!
Yep, there she is. You found her.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Gorlock.
I've seen her before.
Man, this episode was so fucking. I like.
She's gonna grind your bones to make bread.
Dude, she's like talking about like in high school when you just throw on any little cute little dress and just go to school, and the girls making side eyes at her and shit. Whenever she says something that's like an obvious, I don't know, troll. No
Taylor,
pun intended.
Do you know this podcast?
I
the
assume.
one we're looking at.
Is it called Whatever? The Whatever Show?
Zach, can you zoom out? I think the previous picture show. Okay. So there's what happens is this. Every show is about the same. You have this guy who's a podcast host, and he is a professional communicator, right? Like this is what he does. And he makes his point, and he often has these stats and studies and stuff at his disposal. And then he brings on these girls. They're from OnlyFans typically. And he tells them they're making life mistakes that like, yeah, you're kind of rocking with it right now when you're 22. When you're 30, you're going to be alone. You're going to die, get a cat. You suck. And all the girls just get smashed with their long-term negative life decisions in this. And I don't know how he finds more guests. I don't.
They agree. They're happy to come on for the exposure.
But if you had like a podcast where you just verbally and physically beat up on 50-year-old ex-gamers, and I watched this week after week, and then I was invited, I would say no, thank you. Right?
But you're retired.
So what I bet, I don't know, but I bet they say something like, we get 10 million impressions per podcast when it's chopped up. And I bet it's more than that. They give them impression numbers and they're like, these girls are all social media whores of one kind or another. Most of them, maybe the majority have OnlyFans, but all of them have Instagrams, that they're making money off of. So it's a huge deal for them to come on his show and maybe come off well. Gorlock ain't picking up no OnlyFans. I don't think. I'm not.
Was she on OnlyFans?
But I bet
I don't fucking know, man. That was rough.
I bet she does. But they might look like fools, but potential customers out there might see them as fantastic. Like,
yeah,
what? You've sucked over 400 dicks and slept with 100 guys? Like, do you realize how hard it's going to be for you to find like a good man with that track record? What men are looking for, he would say, is a subservient woman with low mileage. And but if you're like a sugar daddy or something, and you're like, I could get that, then maybe this is like effective advertising, and they're smarter than I'm giving them credit for.
I can't stop thinking about that woman's body shape.
Yeah, small tits. Just small tits. Did you notice that?
That I did notice that. That's tragic.
Yeah.
That Grease's gold tooth looking bitch.
Yeah, that's such a good reference. if Zach could show us Grease's gold tooth, that'll get a real laugh out of everybody. I promise. But it's oh my goodness, look how big. See, like, look at her body shape there. She's like, oh my god, I just found it. That's Danny DeVito. She's shaped like Danny DeVito.
She is. Now, Neil, I'm going to go back to an argument I made 3 hours ago. I think if you push that woman over, she doesn't get hurt. She just rolls.
Yeah, she rolls. She's young and spry.
Yeah, I don't think she could.
And I hate to be a hater. Boogie. Like, never mind. I'm not going to give her a hard time.
Oh.
If it gave you pause, there's Grease's gold tooth.
He rides around a wagon because he's immobile, and he's in his left hand. You'll notice that's a big hunk of meat. The big leg of something,
nice.
Probably a lamb.
He often says he's too rich to walk because he makes everybody else carry him.
Yeah,
very cool. Too rich to walk. You have to be like a Saudi to be that rich in the real world. Remember that one guy who was He got to about 800 pounds in Saudi Arabia. This was about 20 years ago. He's not alive. And they had to.
I'm shocked.
They had to cut the side of his house out and get a crane.
That guy.
And then he was kind of like waving on the back of a flatbed, like he was, the sole member of a parade.
Yeah, they're throwing candy. They're throwing candy at him though.
What gets lost in that is the pooping. Like, how does that happen?
It gets lost, all right.
If you're immobile like that, are you just pooping in place? And is your bottom?
You have to be. Like, he couldn't move.
And I think Boogie maybe told us, somebody obese that we talked to us told us, or I've heard it at least, that they talk about like having a long Swiffer like squeegee attachment, like a big stick with a whole bunch of sponges duct taped to the other end, and a bucket.
Now, Zach, can you pull up a fat person ass wiping device so we can take a look? Because you're right, we have talked about this. I don't remember if it was Boogie.
Bonus points if you show us a Korean woman.
I have a motorcycle friend.
Remember that air? There was the story of like the guy who forced the airline lady to wipe his ass, and he was.
Oh yeah. And he was like coming.
It looks like it's what is the wet toilet paper called? Just
wet wipes.
Wet wipes. Thank you. I lost it for a second. Looks like wet wipes. I don't see how that would work. I need a sponge. I need something with a little.
I think it's like a belt loop. I bet in there. I bet it's like going in and then coming out like a fish hook. That
Then how do you get the shit off? No, you know what I bet it is. I bet that plunger on the end is holding the TP in there with like some pinch, and so you're supposed to wipe your ass and then hit the plunger, and it's supposed to drop it. I bet.
Don't hit it twice though, or it'll pinch your asshole.
I was starting to say I have a motorcycle friend.
Dangerous.
This happened